Hi everybody, welcome to our second video on LinkedIn, and today we're going to look at building your profile. So starting off a profile can feel a little bit overwhelming. There's lots of different sections and it's hard to know what to include. But hopefully today we'll give you a bit of an overview of some of the key things for you to focus on. So to start with, the profile photo. So if possible, try and make sure that you have a profile photo. It does increase the number of views that you will get. And also be careful in terms of what photo you pick. Try and pick something that's as professional as possible. So something that looks similar to what's on the laptop screen on this slide would be perfectly appropriate. But yeah, try and keep that one appropriate as possible. Secondly, thinking about the headline. So the headline is just being pointed to by that little arrow. So that's one of the key things that people will see underneath your name when your profile is being viewed, or when you're on the news feed, and you can also see it within there if you've posted anything or you've commented or shared something. People can also see your profile, so it's important that that reflects who you are and where you're at. So if you're in full-time work, or maybe you're doing an internship or a placement year, sometimes people will use their job title. But if you're kind of looking for work or interested in a particular industry, then you can also include that within your headline. So for example, a creative individual looking for opportunities within journalism could be a potential headline that you could include. So it's quite personal preference really, but that having a headline can help boost people in terms of engagement on your profile. Also the location. So if possible, include your location on there. That just means that whoever's looking at your profile knows where you're based, maybe where you're looking for opportunities, etc. You can also claim a unique URL on LinkedIn. So as you can see on the top right-hand corner, you can claim a unique URL. So what this means is that it will create a link for you that includes your name, and it's just a really neat, tidy, professional looking URL that you can then use if you wanted to add that to your CV, or if you were sharing it with somebody. It just looks much more professional than some of the other LinkedIn links with lots of different characters and numbers, etc. So that's also a handy thing to know that's there. You can also have an about section on your LinkedIn profile, which we will have a little look at in a bit more detail on the next slide. So the about section is quite similar in some ways to your personal profile if you have one on your CV. So it really summarizes in a short paragraph or a few sentences who you are, what your skills and experience are, and maybe what your aim is, or a call to action, or what you're interested in. So to start with who you are, that just needs to be a summary of maybe where you're at in your professional career, or your academic sort of journey. So for example, you could put multilingual, an ambitious final year English language student at Lancaster University. So just a really sharp, short, concise summary. Then it's going on to what are your skills and experiences. So this doesn't need to be too long, but maybe give the person who's viewing your profile a quick snapshot of some of the highlights of your career so far. So maybe anything in particular that stands out, an internship experience that you've developed certain skills from, or some work experience that you've done. But yeah, in this bit, you just want to kind of highlight some key things that maybe will make that person carry on looking at your profile. And then finally, it's just thinking about what are you interested in? So what are you hoping that this LinkedIn profile will help you do? Are you looking for opportunities in a certain sector? Are you a graduate looking for positions within an industry? Try and highlight here what you're kind of looking for. It can be that you're just wanting to develop your professional network, and that's okay too. But it is good to have that sort of goal set within your profile as well. Um, so it's always good to draft the about section, and you can always send that over to the Grow Your Future team to have a little look at for you, if you wanted to do that before uploading that to your profile. Moving on to the rest of your profile, so some other things to check that are included within there. You've got your experience section, and this again, in some ways, is quite similar to how you would reflect this in your CV. So, any paid and voluntary work, professional experience, etc., you can detail on here. You can detail the organisation that you worked with, the time frame in which you worked there, and any skills as well. You can tag those to that opportunity or experience so that they are also highlighted. So that's fairly straightforward, but try and include everything that you've done so far on there. Again, with your education, fairly straightforward. Include your degree program, your A levels, any professional qualifications that you've done that you feel like are relevant to include those on there. You can also tag skills and endorsements. So there are lots of different skills that you can tag to your profile. What I would say is don't just tag every skill that you could possibly tag, because that's not necessarily useful when people are looking at your profile. But think about some of the key skills that you want to showcase that you've got, and tag those on there. And you can also include recommendations on there from other people that have worked with you in the past. So really, that is the LinkedIn profile. There's a few different elements that you can work on there. And once you've got your profile together, there's lots of different ways that you can start connecting and engaging with the platform. So we'll move on to the next slide. So really now, that's the end of this video. Next week we are going to talk a little bit more in the next video about engagement. So how you can now, once you've got your profile in place, start using it and start connecting with different people, how you can boost your engagement, etc. So do look out for that video. If you want to get your profile checked, you can book an appointment through Careers Connect. You can email us, Teams message or WhatsApp us. We're always happy to look at your LinkedIn profile. We can help you create that about section if you're finding that challenging. And yeah, we're just generally here to help. So hope you found that useful, and see you soon.